Ukraine has launched what appears to be the biggest wave of airstrikes into Russia since the start of the war. Ukrainian drones targeted these 6 regions in Russian territory. Pskov city was the hardest hit. A large fire started at an airport where several military planes were also damaged. There were also attacks near Moscow that led to flights at several airports being suspended. Further south, there have been reports of drones being shot down in Bryansk, Kaluga, Oryol and Ryazan regions. These attacks went unusually deep into Russian territory and mark a major escalation in Ukraine's use of drone warfare. Robert Bride has more.
This was one of the most intensive exchanges of missile and drone strikes so far in the wars.
Ukrainian drone attacks on civilian objects confirm the terrorist essence of the Kyiv regime once again. It's clear that Ukrainian drones weren't able to fly those distances without assistance from Western satellite information.
Just before daybreak Wednesday, much of Kyiv was awoken by a series of explosions as more than 40 Russian drones and missiles targeted the city in waves from all directions, with Ukraine claiming to have shot down nearly all of them. But there were casualties, with several people killed and injured in what's said to be the largest Russian attack in months, with every indication of more airstrikes from both sides to come. Rob McBride, Al Jazeera, Kyiv.
Well, joining us live now from northern Ukraine is Ukrainian Army Captain Volodymyr Omelyan. He was also the former Minister of Infrastructure of Ukraine. Captain, Moscow is saying these are your drones and that they targeted civilians. What do you say to that?
Hello, I'm very happy to be with you. Thank you for having me. Concerning this particular situation, we see that war is ongoing. And we didn't start this war, but definitely Ukraine will conclude this war by victory over Kremlin. What happened this night in 6 regions of Russia, it's only the beginning. And whatever Russians say, our prime objects are military bases and military potential of Russian Empire. So it's our prime importance to conclude the living and existing.
So to be very clear, Captain, you're saying that these were your drones, that there will be more, and that you've been targeting military infrastructure?
I think that era of dominancy of Russia in aviation and drones is over. Ukraine will not stand the situation that only we are under permanent Russian attacks. And Russian military, first of all, shall get used to the thought that they are under permanent, that they are a permanent target for Ukrainian militaries as well.
Ukraine has been somewhat reluctant to take responsibility for targets and attacks inside Russia, especially around Moscow. I'm wondering if that's changing, especially now we're seeing this demonstration of clear long-range capability here.
I wouldn't say that we refrain from any kind of attacks on Russian territory. And we always said that it's not only Ukrainian territory to be on war. The same will happen to Russia. And Russians brought war to Ukraine. We will bring it back. And frankly saying, I see that drone industry is booming right now, and we are coming to new era of war trends. Unfortunately, we are not also happy with.
Let me ask you then, as you say, we're entering a new phase of the war. Would you say that Ukraine's counteroffensive strategy is yielding the results you were looking for? It's been going a little more slowly, perhaps, than many anticipated?
It's not a Hollywood movie, and it takes blood and it takes lives. And definitely we are not ready to sacrifice every life of our soldier. We would like to make them live. That's why that it's not a blitzkrieg, as Russians thought it will be, but it's successful. And you see that since recently we break through this so-called Surovikin line, or Russian Tsar trenches, which we call it sometimes, and progress of Ukrainian troops in the south is visible.
Captain, I understand you were not a fighter when this war broke out. A lot has obviously changed since then. I know you have a family, children at home. How is the war now viewed by the people at home around Ukraine?
Yes, it's a difficult challenge for us, and as our General Commander Zelensky once said, that war starts with professional soldiers and ends with musician managers or PR specialists. It means that human power is not endless one, but we do understand that we should fight, and there is no alternative for us. And we fight for our kids, as you rightly said, for our families, which are behind our backs. And this is the best motivation, and this is the best moral for all Ukrainian army to stand still and to fight Russians.